Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Good morning and welcome to the JP Keyter Show with me, your host, JP. We are coming to you live every weekday between 9 and 9:30 a.m. and we are broadcasting from the uniquely developed 27 Boxes Mall in the bohemian suburb of Melville in Johannesburg. Now, you might be thinking, what makes this place so unique? Well, believe it or not, this entire mall is made up out of 27 container boxes. 27 container boxes put together a uniquely developed mall. So when you're in Johannesburg, come and make a turn. They have some beautiful boutique shops, clothing stores, food outlets, and obviously a radio station. And we're coming to you live right here from Melville. So please come and make a turn here at 27 Boxes. Talking about unique things, it gives me great pleasure to announce that this show is also very unique. It's the only show where we dedicate 30 minutes every day of the week to talk about all things rugby. So we're going to talk about school rugby, professional rugby, international rugby, referees, sponsors, women's rugby, everything that's got to do with rugby. This will be discussed on this show. So kry vir jou lekker koppie koffie en kom sluit by ons aan vir die volgende halfuur waar ons net gaan fokus op die sport wat 'n spesiale en 'n spesifieke plek in ons almal se harte geniet. Now, I know a lot of people might ask, why rugby? Why do you want to talk 30 minutes about rugby? I think the question should be, why not? Why not talk about rugby? Firstly, rugby union is a popular sport all over the world, all around the world, played by male and female players of all ages. And in 2014 alone, there were like 6 million people playing worldwide, of whom 2.36 million people or players were registered players all around the world. In South Africa alone, we have over 600,000 rugby players, compared to New Zealand, who only have about 144,000 rugby players. Now, to be fair to New Zealand, it is a country where they have more sheep than people. New Zealand has a population of about 4.6 million people, and in a couple of years back, the ratio was 20 sheep for every person in New Zealand. Can you believe it? The stats actually came down now, and it's more like 7 sheep to one person. So the ratio is 7 to 1, or about 30 million sheep in New Zealand compared to 4.6 million people. And, it's still higher than in Australia, where they have 74 million sheep to 23.5 million people. That means it's a ratio of 3 to 1 in Australia. And yes, I must say it makes me quite embarrassed to admit that South Africa, where we have all these players, over 600,000 registered players. In New Zealand, only 144,000, and they still kick our behinds. So, kudos to New Zealand and to Australia, because it seems like nowadays we in South Africa, we're still battling, to play the All Blacks and the Wallabies. So, listen, enough talk about sheep. Let's get down to business. Let's talk some rugby. And firstly, I just want to congratulate the New Zealand's men's team who beat Fiji 14-0 in the final of the Commonwealth Games to win their second gold medal. Yes, it was New Zealand's second gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. And I just want to say congratulations to New Zealand. The New Zealand women's team also did extremely well. They beat the host nation Australia in the final. That score was about 12 all when the 28-year-old Kelly Brazier ran over 80 meters to score the winning try and break the Aussies' hearts. So well done to the New Zealand women's team, claiming their Commonwealth gold medal as well. And talking about broken hearts, well, the Blitzboks, our national sevens team, broke our hearts once again. They lost against Fiji in the Cup semi-final, and they had to play against England, for the third place or the bronze medal, and they lost against England and 21-14 in the playoffs for the third position or the bronze medal. So South Africa, who claimed the title or won gold 4 years ago at the previous Commonwealth Games, couldn't defend the title, and now they will have to wait for 2022, to go and try again and get a gold medal. Now, this is what it doesn't make sense to me. A week before the Commonwealth Games, or before our team played in the Commonwealth Games, our national sevens coach, Neil Powell, actually pulled his entire A team, the top players, out of the Hong Kong Sevens that took place a week before they actually went to go play in the Commonwealth Games in the Gold Coast in Australia, and he pulled his entire Sevens team, and he fielded a very young team in the Hong Kong Sevens. And New Zealand did exactly the same thing, and it was only Fiji. You know the Fijians. They're so talented. They fielded their top team, their first choice players in the Hong Kong Sevens. They won that, and then they went over to play in the Commonwealth Games. Now, my thing is this with Coach Neil Powell. He's a wonderful coach. The Springbok Sevens team, they always do well, and we're still the number one team on the Sevens World Series log. But my problem with Neil Powell is this: if you will decide to do something like this, if you want to pool your team, it's a great strategy, but it's only a great strategy if it actually works. If it works, then it's a great strategy. So when you do something like this, you must make sure to pull it off. Exactly like the New Zealanders did, They did exactly the same thing. Their coach followed the same strategy. And they actually went ahead and won gold at the Commonwealth Games. So I think next time when we want to do something like this, we must actually make sure that we win